Good morning, Convert Crew. Welcome in. Hopefully y'all are doing well today, and I'm ready to jump back on the markets. Had a little bit of a run up yesterday, and it looks like we're trying to push up a little bit higher, kind of coming into this morning. But yeah, a decent little trade yesterday. Not so much on Bitcoin, I guess. There was no system trade, I guess, on Bitcoin, but Ethereum did pop out one. Something like this. So if you were into that, then you could have gotten about a 2.64 to 1 if you just took it like the system said. Obviously you're only pulling 70% here at target 1, so unless you kind of just took the other 30 off randomly, you would have gotten stopped out here at break even on that. But just taking it like the system, you would have made 70% at a 2.64 to 1. So not too bad. I think we figured if you traded like $1,000, you'd have made around 1,600 or so, maybe a little bit more depending on how your account kind of just really how you took it off and everything like that. So yeah, not too bad. Pretty good trade there if you were on the market and looking at that. But same thing here with Ethereum, is we're actually running up here a little bit into the AM. But we'll go ahead and set up the charts, check out the radar, stuff like that. First, we just want to say good morning and welcome to everybody. Looks like we got Terry here, got Kathleen here. So thank you all for joining. Thanks for coming in to the live stream. Check out what we're doing. Yeah, hopefully y'all are doing well trading wise. Yeah, nothing too exciting this weekend either. So yeah, we're just kind of checking it out, getting ready for the day. I got my water this time, so won't be choking or anything like that today, hopefully. But honestly, probably won't be a super long live stream. I have an appointment I gotta get to a little bit after this, so we'll probably go to around 9 or so, and just looking at the market. It's not gonna be super interesting anyways, but we got to check it out, see what's going on, see what's happening, fill you guys in on everything, and then we'll head out. Excuse me. So we'll head on over to our Kubota.com here first, and you can see I already got the radar pulled up. Unfortunately, everything is in a stand down state. If you notice from last week, I believe we had the AM and PM and conservative and non-conservative buttons all at the top. We've actually changed it a little bit. So we've updated a lot of our internal math, I guess, and stuff like that inside of here. So it's actually going to be a little harder to get a trade now, but it's going to be a little more accurate when it does give you a trade. And it's still going to be based off of the gravity map and stuff like that. And but it just has a lot more stuff kind of behind it and lined up going into it. So when you do see a trade on here, it's just going to be a higher probability trade. At least, as we've kind of been researching it and looking into it. So, it's never perfect, and it's not any kind of financial advice or anything ever on this site, but that's kind of what we've been looking at and what we've been kind of fixing. So, yeah, we'll look a little different. Still grade A, grade B kind of thing. Just that these will do a little more math before that happens. And then when you click on the trade, it'll open up the cockpit and show you what the trade is for the day and all the levels and everything like that still. So pretty similar, just a lot of back end changes here on this part of the market radar here. So we'll go ahead and grab our raw data for Bitcoin, and we'll head back to our charts here and put it on our thing. So we'll open it up, we'll change it to Tuesday, move all this in. If you guys have our indicator, more than likely you just have the one with just one of these, so you'll just have to replace the one you have there. Ours we use for more testing and stuff like that, so we like to have all of the levels from the week on here so we can go back and check it out. And also, you know, for videos and live streams, it's nice to be able to go back and see kind of what happened, maybe the day before or the couple days before, stuff like that. So like I said, we got a little bit of a breakout this morning, you know, still before 8:30. Like, we've kind of changed the rules, I guess, on that. You can't trade before 8:30 if there is a trade on the site, but we're still kind of doing a little background check on that. You know, 8:30 is pretty volatile candle, so you know, there could be times that you get in early and you get it just rips down and hits your stop, and the person who was going to get in after 8:30 never got in. And there could also be times that, you know, you get in early and it just rips up, and same thing, the person at 8:30 looks at it and can't get in because it's already way past where they would even want to take it. Maybe already target 1, target 2, maybe you already made money, who knows. So it kind of plays out either way, I guess. It's just a little more aggressive, obviously, to take it before 8:30. And what we're kind of testing is like how much more risk, I guess, do you add? Like, is it actually a good one to take if everything's kind of lined up to take it like that, or is it better to wait for 8:30 most of the time? So still have it to where the trade will come out right here, and you could technically take it right then and there when it comes out. But obviously, yeah, there's a caveat to that, and that's where we're testing it. So, and again, you know, not financial advice, but just looking at the chart, we got we had that run up yesterday, kind of went sideways, and then actually I believe this was the initial run up. See, now this was Sunday, and then Monday started here, dropped down, and then this is where we ran up here on Monday. This is when I was showing you on ETH we ran up. Didn't drop down as far as ETH, kind of just traded sideways, and then we ended up running up into today in the morning. And then now we're trying to push up again even farther. Kind of just continuing that push up. Honestly, though, the charts are starting to look more and more bearish as we kind of get up here. Just looking like we need a little bit of a break, really. So we continue to push up. You can see the 15 minutes kind of getting tired out. The higher you go up, it just looks tired as well. So 4 hour, 1 hour, even up to the daily, starting to get tired. Everything is just looking tired. It's starting to get to that point where you're starting to wonder, you know, why are we still going up? And more than likely, that's why the battle box, or I guess we don't really call it the battle box anymore. That's why Kuroda didn't really call it a trade today. Obviously, there's a lot that goes into that, but essentially, you're kind of at a top. Could you continue up? Yeah, you could continue up, but we're getting closer and closer to the point where we're going to have to rotate and at least get a pullback, probably a little bit more than a pullback, but yeah, we'll see what happens here as price continues to play out. We can go ahead and set up the other two charts just kind of take a little gander at what they're doing. So we'll head on over to Ethereum first, set up this one. So you can see that's the trade from yesterday. Target 2 is actually way up here, all the way up at 2005, almost 600, which is crazy because our first target was at 2,350, a little over 350, 360 something. So almost a $300 move, which, you know, if you're used to trading BTC, that sounds like not a very long move, but for something like ETH, that's only 2,000, almost 2,400 right now. That's really not that much, or that's a huge move. That's a huge move. I mean, on Ethereum, you're looking at a pretty big percentage of a move. I mean, if we go from current price action up, you're looking at an 8% move. If we did the same thing on BTC with a $300 move, you're only looking at a 0.29% move. So, you know, it's a pretty decent change here, just because the price of ETH is just so much different. So that is a pretty big move to the upside. You know, we kind of played it like, obviously you take 70% and you're running 30% up to that point. You could have pulled it earlier, I guess, if you felt so inclined, but we wouldn't. We still kind of traded it up there. And how we ran our system is we just ran our stuff to break even and then put our 30% up there at that target too, and it just came down and hit us out at break even. So we only made that 70%, and that's kind of the play though. You kind of want to just make, you know, your 30% or 70%, sorry, and then you take it out. And that's not a big deal. You make some money. You walk away happy. Yes, you technically got your stop loss hit, but it's at break even now, so it's not a big deal. Even if you left it all the way at the bottom, you would still be making money. So overall, not too bad there. But yeah, let's get the new levels on here and see what we're looking at today. We actually just kind of ran into yesterday's daily resistance there, so pretty interesting that you know, the levels from yesterday are still in play today, and I bet you the green level is somewhere around there, but we'll have to go and check it out. The green level being the breakout level for today. We'll go grab it from our website and see. So I'll grab the data here, head back to our charts, and we'll throw it in. There we go. There we go. So it's not all the way up there. It's kind of in between these two resistance zones here, or technically this zone it's kind of in the middle of, so you know, it's not really either, but you got resistance now in this red, and then I guess you could call this resistance or support. Technically it'll change depending on if price action's below it or above it. Right now, since we're in the middle of it, I don't know what you'd call it. I guess it's kind of both right now. Kind of just sitting in the zone. And you know, we have these zones set up, so basically, you know, normally you just draw a line, but even with the lines, they're still technically zones. You just don't know how wide they are, and that's how these kind of just are set up, is just a little bit bigger of zones. These are from our other indicator, I believe. It's the KTBB Intel indicator. I believe it's on our website. I think it's on our website. If it's not, I'm pretty sure it's on TradingView actually too. So you guys can just search it up if you're interested in it. Yeah, this is all from yesterday too, so we can go ahead and get rid of this. There we go. So yeah, that's kind of the setup for today for Ethereum. Looking pretty similar to Bitcoin. You know, you got that daily support down here above our daily breakdown trigger, which is pretty far down there, and then we got our daily resistance right under our daily breakout to the upside trigger. Kind of same thing here, so you can see breakout triggers right there, and then we got our daily resistance right here, daily supports down here, and then your daily breakdown trigger is down there in purple. So pretty similar spread here on the different levels, you know, within Ethereum. We're breaking down in a pretty similar way. You know, obviously it's not exactly the same, but more or less they're pretty close. Definitely looking pretty close to the same in terms of how likely are we to break down here. Looking definitely like we're topping here, ready for a pullback. Daily here on Ethereum's got a little bit of room to grow, but still, more or less, you know, we're looking like we need a pullback here for sure. Maybe just some down run, who knows. We'll check out Sol too here. So this is how Sol's looking. We got that candle closing in 11-10 seconds now. See what the Predator candle does. It's looking like a pretty decent spread. a little bit above, a little bit below. Yeah, there we go. there's the close. If you're taking the old system, I guess technically you could get in on a close above. The only thing is, even if you're using the old system, the gap for the upside is not going to be anything good. I think you got probably like I don't even know, not less than a 0.1, I'm sure. Yeah, 0.07. So not even really worth looking at. Could it run up? Yeah, it definitely could run up. We could see a run up today for sure. But the likelihood of it doing that, in terms of our systems, is pretty low. And even really just the whole market, just looking at the TA and stuff, it's pretty low odds that we're going to continue running up. Now we could continue pushing up. You know, you never know what the market's actually going to do, but that's what we're thinking. So we'll go ahead and set up Sol here. Again, we got one of our older trades here on Sol, so we'll get rid of that. Excuse me. And we'll go grab our data from the website here. So we'll open up the market radar, grab our data, and head back to TradingView to throw it into our thing here. There we go. Sol's looking a little bit different. So we got a little bit more room here on the downside in terms of gap from the breakout to the daily resistance there. Daily support technically now since it's above it, but for sake of keeping them in line, we'll call it a daily resistance still. Only a 0.32% gap though, so even on the old system, not a great gap. It is technically a jailbreak, but like I said, not a great gap. Not really much better than BTC really in terms of gap there. To the downside, you're looking at the same thing, 0.5%. So for Solana, that's not great. Overall, yeah, just kind of looking sideways really, no matter which system you kind of look at. No matter how you look at it, honestly, more than likely, if we were going to do anything, I guess, is we'd probably range down into the purple line again. So come down to our daily trigger. I would say that's more likely than really anything. And you know, we could go up, could go down, who knows? But I'm thinking that's definitely the more likely of the ideas there, is that we come down, like I said, to that purple line there. Kind of range down there, maybe take most of the day to get down there. Maybe we won't even really get down there, but we'll get down there close to that. Tomorrow we could be looking at something of a trade here after we kind of range out today. I think the charts are kind of cooling off from yesterday's run, you know, so we'll see what happens. And who's to say, you know, maybe in the PM we'll get a new trade. I believe we still have the PM stuff on there. So if we check at 12:30 Central Standard Time, so for most people, I guess for the New York session, that'd be of 1:30. So depending on where you're at, you know, you can do the math for your time zone, but whenever that comes out, there could be a new trade on there. So we'll have to check out that when it comes out here at 12:30 or 1:30, or if you're on the East Coast, West Coast, I guess it'd be what, 10:30 or so. So yeah, it just depends on where you are. But the PM session, that's what we're talking about, is that 1:30 New York time. Yeah. That's kind of what we're looking at for the market today. So could go up, could go down. Who really knows? Haven't said anything really in stone yet. But more than likely, we're not going to break out today. Is essentially what the breakdown, I guess, of today is. Probably just gonna either range sideways, maybe kind of go sideways down. Maybe we'll go up a little bit. It's really kind of just out there. are we looking to trade anything, to the upside or the downside today? Not really. It's more of a sit back and maybe learn some new stuff kind of day. Sit back and just do something else, I guess, for the day. That's kind of where we're coming from with all of that. But yeah, nothing too interesting happening. Again, you can check out our stuff coming out, or sorry, not our stuff. You can check out the new market radar flip coming out at 12:30 and see if that changes anything. Check out the PM session. Maybe there's a trade happening then. I don't know. Just remember, the PM session is also less tested as well. So, take it with a grain of salt. I mean, it's not financial advice anyway, so, always should take it with a grain of salt, I guess, but that's how it is. One thing I guess we can show you guys real quick is we talked about this, I believe, last time we were showing off this stuff, but our mission ledger here has our different trades on it. So you can see the trade from yesterday actually got logged in here. If you scroll all the way down, you can see the different trades that have been logged. So yesterday we had Ethereum trade, grade B. All of these stand downs are just going to be the trades that technically are like today. Like whenever the time comes in, it'll log it here, and we'll see, stand down happening on all three of the charts. But the one trade from today is actually logged in there, so you can go log in, check it out. You can see if you had $1,000 to trade, you'd have made $16.98 yesterday, so not too bad. That's if you took it exactly how the system did. So take 70% at target 1, run that 30% to technically to target 2, and then move your stop to break even. Yesterday you would have got hit out on that 30% at break even, so you would have just made your 70% at target 1, which is that $16.98. Obviously that doesn't go in with fees and stuff, so depending on what exchange you're on and all of that, you have to pay some different fees and stuff. So you'd make around $1,600, maybe less, depending on how your fees are, depending on how you're trading, I guess, too. So not too bad. Pretty decent right now, sitting at the 100% win rate. Obviously that's going to change more than likely with trades coming out and stuff happening. It's not going to be 100%, but just wanted to kind of show you guys that it's working and kind of loading in and show you guys kind of how it works. And you can change your risk here, something like that. Say like, oh, we wanted to trade 100, so you made $169 in total. You can just see, like, if I risk this much on this, well, it will be on like all of the trades when they kind of start to populate. Let's say you only did a $50 risk on every trade that we've ever put out, kind of thing. Then you would make, right now you'd only make $84, but as time goes on, it will calculate all of the trades in like that. So kind of cool little throw in there. If you guys are interested in messing around with that. Obviously it'll be better the more trades we get, the more data is kind of in here, and the more you can kind of see how your account maybe would have done over time. We got some different strategy fields down here. So over here you got grade A versus grade B, which one's more likely to play out. Obviously grade B is the top one right now because we don't have any grade A trades yet. And then this one is throughout the week, which day makes more money throughout the month. So right now, Monday, obviously top day. It's the only day we've gotten a trade on. So, again, it'll be better as it plays out. And then this will kind of just show some different points at which we made trades throughout the month. So kind of a lot of just data, just things thrown in there. So if you guys would like to see something in there, just go ahead and throw that in the chat. Or if you guys maybe are, I don't know, maybe just excited to see more more of it filled out, you can throw that in chat. But yeah, that's kind of the basics of the mission ledger. That's why we have it on there. It's just to kind of see, just have a little bit of logging to kind of see like, well, how's the different trades run over time. So you guys can go and check that out. Yeah, that's really it for today. We do have our video coming out here at 10 o'clock talking about some of the stuff that happened yesterday, what we were kind of watching it, how that trade really fully played out. I know we kind of covered it here on the live, but the video will go more in detail, and also kind of just talk about TA and stuff like that. That's helpful to kind of look at as you're trying to, especially when you're trying to learn, or even if you're a good trader, it's helpful to see somebody else's point of view with the TA and everything. So definitely a good watch. Spirit Maker makes those for us, so definitely something to check out if you guys if you guys haven't ever watched one. It's a great thing to try out and see if you even like it or not. And then 2, it's just it's just a good watch, learn a little bit of something. But yeah, that's coming out at 10, so if you guys are interested, just make sure you're on here at that point. You can hit the bell notification right below the live stream here, and that will that'll notify you whenever we release a video or anything like that. So if you guys want to stay up to date with us, that's a great way to do it. Yeah, just hit that like button on your way out. Make sure you hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. It just helps us reach out, get out to more people. But yeah, thanks for watching. Thanks for joining the live. Like I said, I got to get to an appointment, so I will see you all tomorrow. We'll be back on it, checking out the trades, see if there's anything better tomorrow. But until then, thanks for joining, and we'll catch y'all next time. Happy trading, y'all.